And it is time to go live here from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott. Welcome to the morning steam for Tuesday, November 21st. It's Feast Week. It's all about college basketball, NFL football, college football this week. It's a prime week for enjoying food, enjoying family, and enjoying sports. Thank you for joining me and being part of our family here on the show as we get ready for another sports betting day. I don't know. We might set a record for the fastest show, at least since Mindy left me. And we'll talk a few games here today. We'll talk about last night. Oh, about last night. We could talk about last night all morning long, couldn't we? Let me grab my pen here. Whoops! I dropped my pen. Oh, whoa! Tough break. Well, here, let me grab my phone. Whoa! Drop my phone. Oh, let me get my mouse over. Oh, drop my mouse. I'm dropping everything over here. MVS, you got to have that for the Chiefs. Chiefs failed to score in the second half, and the victory for the Eagles yesterday in the big Super Bowl rematch on Monday Night Football. How did you guys do? Yeah, we gave out the Eagles here. I don't know, lucky, good. I don't know, good game. Good game for the Eagles. They look good. Chiefs had their moments early. They certainly looked like a team that was going to compete in the game. Had their chances, still obviously late. But the dropsies, this wide receiver group is definitely sus. As an old friend used to say, right? You got Kelsey, but if he wasn't effective either, you got to have the other guys come through. Kelsey spending too much time at other sporting events, going to concerts in other countries, hanging out with his girlfriends. So not a great performance for the Chiefs. Lots of problems, lots of questions. How are you going to beat teams like the Ravens up there, the Dolphins, and all those other teams? How about breaking news this morning? Let's get you started. The Steelers. Well, Steeler Nation, a sigh of relief. Matt Canada is relieved of his duties here. We'll see moving forward how the Steelers do. Remember, they're the first team in 80 years to have this winning record this far into any football season called the National Football League season and be outgained in every game. So was it Canada? Was it the play select whatever's going on with the Steelers offense? We already know they have some limitations, but everyone was calling for this man to be axed right near the holiday. Well, he was today. So that's kind of our big news of the day. Maybe you could look to the Jets as well with their change at quarterback. We talked about Wilson, probably wasn't going to work out. They have made the move to Boyle. That doesn't sound like an upgrade, especially when you have we talked about some of the other quarterbacks, right, that got signed other places like Dobbs and yesterday Joe Flacco, who played 3 games with the Jets last year. He signs in Cleveland as an insurance policy for DTR and whatever's going to go on there. So, anyways, we can talk a little bit more about last night. Get your comments and any observations from you guys about the game. Of course, 6 straight possessions. Patrick Mahomes. You're probably supposed to have a touchdown in there. The Chiefs had a 17-7 lead. Yeah, we had a premium play on the under. That looked pretty. Well, who didn't have a premium play on the under? The under's now what? 11-1, 12 and whatever it is. There's been one over on Monday Night Football all season. Prime time unders. One thing I did say about the prime time under angle is, we all believe, right, that the general public, even if the general public is just a handful, but with the proliferation of sports betting throughout the country and the penchant for punters to want to bet the over, that if you increase your size of the betting pool massively, like we are seeing in this country, and if people are still going to be a little bit archaic in their thinking about betting and entertainment and all that, why wouldn't the totals just be just high enough? It's not like they're all, totally slamming under, like scoring has stopped. Yeah, we talked about it earlier in the season that, over the last um, 9 8 9 years, what did we say it was? The scoring down was nearly 7 points overall in the league, which was startling, right? A league that was averaging just, uh, 47 point. I'm trying to remember the number. We covered it and I read the numbers off, but, a league that was averaging, 47.7.8, whatever it was, and is now down to, 41 point, or I'm sorry, yeah, 41.9 or something to that effect. So maybe just, subtly, just that could be anywhere from a quarter point to a half a point, whatever the percentages may be, because of, so many people betting into pools and things like that, that maybe that's helped to these prime time totals. I don't know. I mean, again, all you need is it to go over by 1 point and it's an over. Let me say hello to my friends here. Thank you for coming in. I won't keep you long today, I promise. Hey, I put in the Discord. I put in all these early Steam moves. We've got college basketball here all day. Today's all about college basketball. We'll preview. I believe I got a half a dozen games or so to look at on this massive card. We'll also look at two games from college football tonight in action. Uh, Also, NBA card. No hockey tonight. We're taking the night off, but don't worry if you like hockey. Tomorrow's your day, and there's a pretty big card tomorrow of hockey. I will be here, of course, on Thanksgiving. You're my family, so if you want to join me, maybe you're going to have an easy day, and you'll be up early getting things ready with your uh, dinner, and you can join me and hang out with me. We'll talk. We'll go long on Thursday. I'll tell you that right now. Even though we just have the three NFL and the Egg Bowl, we'll tackle Friday's college football. Hello to who was here to open up the doors for me. It was Nicholas, always with those good vibes. And I'd probably have, and if I had Mindy here, I'd say, "What is the Good Vibes logo again?" I forget. Is it the glad hands? I don't get that. I just get good vibes. I get Nick's good vibes though. And Thomas is here to talk about the Steam, our team's team, and congratulations. We said it yesterday. We had a little celebration there with the balloons and the confetti for Tony. I think we're officially over 40,000 here on the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut. Tony's picks. You've got uh, the group across the street. They got a huge, big channel. Great job. They have that other channel where they talk about wagers, if you know what I mean. That one's got a lot of subscribers, but beyond that, these type of shows, the YouTube talking head handicappers, I mean, Tony right there, I mean, his channel probably right after those two, the biggest. And congratulations. And I'm not talking about necessarily the corporate. I mean, even the second one I mentioned is kind of, you know Tony has done it Tony's way, and really homespun. So awesome job by Tony. All right, Werner, bang, bang, bang. My heart goes bang, 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 bang. And Thomas, everyone's dropping the ball, right, guys? Oh, Werner, good day here. He did go over. I get it yesterday, right? And maybe it's getting a little boring with me. Just giving. I promise you, I'm not just you know, blindly going under. There was certainly plenty of support for the over yesterday among many people in this business. So let's get it. Let's get it. And who could these guys get? Steam is rolling in. So, hey, head on over to the Discord. Hello to Doubles. If you want to check out that Steam, I tried to wait as long as I could and then made a copy and then sent it over there to the Discord. Today's college basketball Steam, the ones that are moving. And there's already been like 8 other plays in the last 20 minutes or so since I've sent that over there. And BZ, hello. Hockey results last night. How about it? Thought the show went well. I had a premium winner, one play, one winner, Boston and Tampa Bay to go over was my premium play. But how about winners on the show yesterday, including the Panthers? We had them yesterday. We had the over in the Avalanche and the Predators. And I apologize for not giving out the Predators. I know we made it clear. I could find a way to the Predators. I indeed did. I know it was in pocket, not to brag or anything like that. Just was trying to make it clear. I thought the Predators were going to be pretty live in that one. We had the over in the Rangers Stars. I thought that was pretty contrarian. Got it done there. We had the Kings on the road. My Kings beating Arizona. Did we take Vancouver laying those pucks? Yeah, we did. They got it done against the Sharks 3-1, and we had Calgary. Wow. No wonder everybody comes for the. There's no hockey today. What are we going to do for money? So, pretty good day yesterday. Thanks to you guys for some great picks yesterday here on the show. Let me see here. Who else can I say hello to? So, yeah, it was BZ talking about those late winners. And what else about the football game, you guys? I'm gonna get rolling. Okay, Gerardo. Gerardo, thank you for anchoring the soccer coverage once again. We're gonna find a way to make this. Gerardo's getting in there. He's mixing it up in the live. So you're gonna have to have your notifications on to take advantage of some of Gerardo's contributions. He's an extremely experienced live bettor, and he'll come with you with some live action in the Discord, but you probably need the notifications on in order to take advantage of that. Gerardo, thank you, though, always for your contributions. And as we talk about maybe our soccer coverage for the day, here it is, the United States. Yeah, it was the Nations League, but another loss to TNT, that ain't going to cut it. New coach, new whatever, right? You can better bring up enough players to at least be able to win this game, especially since everyone refers to the last game against TNT as being the low point where the U.S. had to kind of turn things around. And here we are back at step one with a new regime, and we're losing to TNT. So that's not good. It was an embarrassment yesterday for the United States to lose that game. It almost felt like you could see it coming a little bit, right? The way they were talking about how, oh yeah, we'll have no problem this time. They just beat TNT, and so this was the second game, but it just seems like these guys, yeah, and I was saying yesterday, right? Oh, they beat them 4 out of the last 23 games or whatever. We know the history between these two clubs. So today, Euro qualification. Also, on this side of the hemisphere, this side of the world, World Cup qualification night, including the Battle of the Americas, Brazil, Argentina tonight. It might be worth watching on a slow night tonight. Yeah, Brazil should do it, but you never know with these teams. Hello to William Dryman. And thank you to Double. Should we do one more? Should we try one more celebration for Tony? Because I love to do it. Where's the balloons? I can't figure out how to get the balloons. Okay. Oh, yeah, but great for Tony. And hopefully we'll be here for a while, Ramsey World. All right. I'm going to go over to Tony'sPicks.com and just see who did well yesterday. Boy, I was getting rocked in college basketball early in the premiums. But Uh, I do know that. Oh, does that really work, Tom? No, I don't know if that does work, Tom. This thing's like just all hand gestures. I think is what this way this work. In fact, this so I've been goofing around with these things on the air with the fireworks and all that, right? Let me see if I can do it. But the first time I did it actually was a complete mistake. I was on a live stream and we had won a bet or something, and I did the double thumbs up because they thought I wasn't paying attention, and I was just like, "Hey, I'm here." And then I saw that, and I was like, "What was that?" And then I discovered that uh, these MacBooks have because I didn't really want to use the Mac. I was trying to switch computers. My computer the great computer that the company supplied me, the power supply went down, and I didn't have, and I just went to this. Nobody wants to hear this, all right? But so that's just funny that we got that. And congratulations to Tony. That's those balloons are for him. All right, NBA action last night as well. We're going over to Tony'sPicks.com to look at the handicappers, but just want to review some winners on the show yesterday. Um, Here, right? I don't know what you guys had. We did take some L's. We had Miami though on the road yesterday, and we had the Rockets plus the points against the Warriors yesterday. I know we had another win. I'm trying to think of what it was. I know did have a premium winner with also Rockets and Warriors over. Let's go to Tony'sPicks.com and see who did well. We had winning cappers for sure yesterday. Some big performances from the crew. Let's take a look. Hello to Jose. Hello to Matt. All right, we've got Nick on top here, 7-1 yesterday with a great job uh, with his picks. Ben Ruhala, he was probably loaded up in the prop category. I did well on my props on another show. My a big one actually was kind of unusual, but I don't even know if we would. But I had mine pretty much. I don't like a lot of bear, but I had with the conditions, the grass, I had under 47 and a half yards longest made field goal. That was my play, and I think we had a 43 yarder in the game. Uh, the VIP account went 4-1. Chauncey Giles won both of his plays. Mindy Hahn clicked in at 60% yesterday. Tim Irwin 75%. Tony T, Joseph Schultz, and Nick Martini coming in at 2-1. That's a winning day at Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 20% off our premium pick packages. I'll be loading up today in college basketball here. For the last 7 days, Nick Martini's up nearly 14 and a half units. Joseph Schultz up nearly 8.5 units. The VIP account is up 8 units. Hollywood Sam up 465, as is Chauncey Giles. Last 30 days, it's still Daniel Wolosachuk up 20 and 2/3 units. Chauncey Giles up nearly 17 units. Tony T doing well, up 7.25 units. Hollywood Sam up 5.5 units, and Nick Bartini up nearly 4 units. Click on the Premium Picks tab, scroll down and find the premium selections from our handicappers here today. 3-packs, 5-packs, 7-packs from the cappers, including Tony T's got his Powerhouse Tuesday Chop the Block with 2 in the NBA and 1 in Maction. And Nick has his best play here as well. Today'd be a great day to pick up my 3-day pass. You can head on over to the All Cappers tab. Find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up. And for me, the pack on college basketball tournament day, I mean, it feels like for me the best way to go is a package because I'm going to be coming in with a lot of plays here today. College basketball is my best. I don't know why we're having a little bit of flatlining it here, ups and down, or actually a kind of rocky road, up and down, a little bit streak up and down. So Appreciate you guys, especially the subscribers here with their patience. Hey, Jose Sierra, hello, nice to see you here. Well, let's see what. How about Mike? You doing well? Great fun time over there. Yesterday, watching the show. Do want to tell one story, Jose. Thank you for mentioning that. I don't know. I'm not promoting their uh, show there. Yeah, no problem, Jose. I know what you meant, my friend. But yesterday, so couple of young handicappers. You might know them, pretty popular around these shows. The twins, right? The brothers. Well, I was watching a game that I had a little action on yesterday with. Kennesaw State. So I was watching the game, and the game was played at East Carolina. Everybody knows with these boys, they go to East Carolina. They're college students, and they're good handicappers. So really, probably, I don't even know why they're going. They'll probably be make a fortune in this business. They're so good, but they're getting their degrees. They're working hard. They're smart kids. So they bet on Kennesaw State, right? And they head down to the game. Yeah, let me tell it from my perspective. So I'm watching the game, and I've seen the Earl brothers get on ESPN before. They've been at a bowl. I've seen them on a bowl game, and I text them. I said, "Hey, you guys are on ESPN." So last night, there it is. I'm watching Kennesaw State, but this is a little different, right? Because it's a college basketball tournament. There's absolutely no one in this gym. I'm watching the game. You might have even saw the game yesterday with Kennesaw State and Northeastern, right? Midday game. So I'm watching it, and they cut back from a commercial, and they're showing one of the famed Kennesaw State banana fans. A lot of people criticize it because Kennesaw State, Southern school in Georgia with a pretty diverse student body, but the Kennesaw State banana fans, they actually have been around for quite a while, so there's not really any negative connotation. These guys, I mean, they are kind of beloved as a great fan group, just a small group of fans, but they dress up, they wear the banana suit and go to the games. Well, one guy made the trek, and the Earl brothers went to the game to watch the game. Well, there's nobody in this gym. There's probably 25 people, and nobody's except for the Earl brothers and the banana fan. They're standing right behind the announcers, and they are really cheering this Kennesaw. First of all, a banana fan, of course, and the brothers also cheering very loudly. Like you probably couldn't hear anything else. I mean, in this gym, but the announcers and these guys kind of cheering, right? Northeastern kind of choked the game late. They were on the floor. The ball's on the floor. They were frustrated. They got so frustrated in the loss, something you'd rarely seen. And I'm sure that the kids with their cheer. They weren't rude or anything. They were just cheering loud, pumping their fist, right there, let's go. And Northeastern got so tilted that when they lost the game, and it was a close game if everybody saw it, came down the wire, and Kennesaw won with a last-second shot. Northeastern was so mad, they skipped the sportsmanship line, walked right off the court, gestured at the Kennesaw State like "F you," and almost like there was nobody in the gym. You go bet the game, and then you go harass the other team. I'd sit right behind the bench. All right. What else we got? Blake says, hey, let's preview some of the action. How about the action out in Hawaii at the Maui Classic? What a tournament this year at the Maui Classic. Man, is this the best field ever at Maui? Purdue with the big comeback yesterday against Gonzaga. Look, Gonzaga's good. The freshman's good. They've got to grow up. They've got to learn. They've got to grow a little bit. We had the play wrong yesterday here, but certainly big time credit there to Purdue on the comeback. So Jose, hope you like the story there. And all right, we're going to start with the show. We don't have a lot to cover, just some games today. Like I said, I feel like it's a light show, and I'll get you out of here early. So to tell that little story for a little bit of fun. And the monologue is going to stay, you guys. We're gonna tell the story. We're going to talk a little bit each day. Get my thoughts off my chest, my brain, whatever. All right. So what I've decided is that we will cover college basketball first, and we will cover some of those big games, including Blake's big game. Make a pick there as well. But I think the other thing that I was going to, maybe talk about is just the early games because they are early, and even though they're not the best, maybe those are the ones we'll kind of cover today. On college tournament day, if you will, on feast week. So other than that, maybe just a few more. Uh, just looking at the stats from last night's game, it looks like we don't need to go into it too much further. And I don't know if I have any other new. Desmond Ritter will start this week, I believe, for Atlanta. Looks like so. Heineke, you're back out. Told you, told you. I mean, you know, you don't have to pay me. I'll just give me a call, give me a buzz, Coach Smith. I'll tell you, just stay with the guy. All right. Well, so it will be college basketball to start. I mean, it's a huge card, but look, it's a lot of mid-major and a few marquee matchups I've selected here. But early on, I've selected just these early matchups because they are early and about to go off. So just a way to get your day started. Hang out with me. I'll send them in the Discord. Hey, I'll pick any game anytime. Just come on in the Discord and ask for it. I'll probably get around to it. May need a little bit of time, but uh, why not? As long as I don't have a premium or anything. Let's get it one. Here we go. So, not going to, maybe be the biggest of matchups here with Florida International going up against my Loyola Lions. Loyola didn't get it done yesterday, did they? Maybe I can even look at the results of yesterday's action here. This one, of course, is at the Cayman Islands Classic. And yesterday it was we had FIU as a premium. They fell flat on their face against Marshall. So they've ended up here in the early game against the Lions, and this was the one we whiffed on yesterday. We did pretty well in the early games. Yes, we did pretty well, I thought, with those picks. Actually, considering they were, tougher games, I think, with the uh, small college early star. We kind of rolled with the unders. Who was talking about that yesterday? Talking about rolling with those early morning unders. That was something somebody in the chat was going at it there. Hey, thanks for your plays in there. Nice to see Peter Mack. Good to see Juan with some plays as well. Doubles, thank you. We missed your contribution. I had to do my own work a little bit on the last set of tournament games there, but definitely figured it out. We talked about all the undefeated teams because, if you're 0-2, they were almost out, and the 0-3s were almost out, right, Ferner? What are we going to do for money? We're going to have to try to maybe today's a good day to turn around this college basketball. That's the way I feel. Hey, Brent, thank you for your contributions. I heard the Discord going off in there, so want to thank Brent for his projections. And again, folks, no reason to, anybody wants to put anything in there, no reason to, critique, criticize, just something to ponder and think about when you see someone's numbers. And I appreciate it very much. I'd like to have more activity in there. I will post more activity if we get more activity. But one thing, like I said, turn on those notifications on our Discord, because what I'm doing is basically, kind of giving the latest late information. So if you have the notifications on, you might get like notifications to your phone on a key player missing a game late that isn't something that many services kind of do, right? It's just if I'm available. It's not, I can't sit here all day, but anybody who has been doing it knows that if it's a major injury or key injury, just like you read it there in the Discord, that you can get it sent to your phone. So, all right. Hey, let me get to this one here between these two. Kind of was taking it easy here where I wasn't quite. I'm prepared, but didn't have the right stuff up because I thought we were having so much fun dropping the ball yesterday. There's 6 passes in all for the Chiefs. The dropsies there yesterday. Okay, here we go with this early start for the uh, Lions. They are 1-3 straight up, 1-3 against the spread. Florida International, bad start for FIU so far this season. They are 1-4 straight up, 2-4 against the spread. So, but these two teams have combined to go 6-2 to the over so far this season. Florida International, well, that's pretty bad. So they've been giving up some points, and it probably will today as well. I mean, this one I would think goes over. I know we were talking a little humorously about early morning unders, and I don't know, maybe they will be. This is a 11. This one's in the Cayman Islands, so I'm going to end up going over here with current line. This one a couple hours old there, so let me just check it out. And this one is currently at 149 and a half. This one's actually gone down. You probably should respect that move a little bit, Ramon. Just don't go out there calling out totals. But well, I was already going under. I'm sorry, I was already going over in this one, and I don't really see it. Let me see in game number 635. Yeah, I don't see any true steam necessarily. Thomas is going to go over with me, so I'll go over. We've got a pick there. Okay, so yeah, it has that move has come in on the under. I just didn't update it yet since I sent that steam out. Let me go ahead and update this. So I'll call it 150. It's pretty much 149 and a half, and the line now in the game is up to 6.5 or 7 here for Loyola Marymount. Hey, you know what? We've been giving out enough plays here, side and total. I feel bad about yesterday. We lost that first game. We ended up in a winning session there on those early morning plays. But let me go ahead and I'm going to give out the side as well. I'll take my Lions to do this again. Florida National. Watch that game. They looked bad. They lost, to Marshall. I will mention Marshall is being steamed right now in game 2 of this um, tournament at the Cayman Islands. Marshall was as low as 1.5. I'll just mention it right now because it's at the same locale that Marshall against Oakland. Marshall yesterday, the winner of their of the matchup. So they're on the other side. They are moving right now against the Oakland Golden Grizzlies. The line is up probably to 2.5, and that was the early game yesterday. We went with LMU, and Oakland got the win in a low-scoring game. So, but Marshall on the move right now. I'm taking LMU, and I am taking the over. Despite that steam, I like the fact that these two teams are going over with not much defense so far. So give me LMU, give me the over, and just to note that steam for you guys, it just came in on Marshall. All right, one staying away from over-unders, and well, I have to go with I have to play over-unders because to me they are more predictable. All right. Okay, and I think that will do it for that one. Thank you. And let's move on to another early game here. And this is action at the Gulf Coast Showcase between the 49ers of Long Beach State and the Iona Gales. And we talked about yesterday on the show. We went with High Point. They got it done. Now, we did go with the over, but it was an under game yesterday with Iona and High Point. High Point took the steam yesterday. They got it done over Iona. Iona ends up here in this matchup against Long Beach. On the in the losers side, Long Beach comes in with a 2-3 record, 3-2 against the number. Iona 1-2, 1-2 against the spread. These two teams have combined to go 2-5 to the under so far this season. And we've seen some movement here in this game, and I don't know if it's. Let me see right now. Make sure I get the right line there. Currently, it is Long Beach now by 5, and the total still pretty much is 52. I'll probably leave it up there because I think I know where I'm going, and we'll see where you're headed. Thomas is going to take Iona here. Thomas and I shop at the same stores, by the way, online. Or I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much where I'm shopping. So, all right, I'm going to try Iona here yesterday after what I saw. Look, yeah, did we fade him yesterday correctly? Yes. And in Long Beach's state game against Illinois State, I did like Illinois State in that one. They were able to get the money. Long Beach did not. I am going to go out with Iona here in this one. And also, hello to Joey. Juan says, give me Iona here. Maybe he's even taking it on the money line, possibly. But give me Iona as well. I'll take the points. I'll take the 4 points, but I think you can get a better price. And how about this? Mr. Looks says go under. Ramon says go under. Let's go under as well. Here, I feel pretty good about that, actually. This will fit the early morning under criteria. Swag Shop is here today. All right, I'm gonna take a drink here. All right, that should be a little better. So go ahead and give me Iona here +4. You can get 4.5. You can get 5. Take Iona early on against Long Beach. Here's the other thing, right? I mean, body clock game a little bit here for Long Beach. This game is, like I said, in an hour and 15 minutes, 11 o'clock Eastern. It is 6:45 here out west, where Long Beach and they've gone back and they played yesterday's game was a 1:30 afternoon. So they played two kind of early games in a row. Iona did play in this time slot yesterday, and of course we know they're an East Coast team. So go ahead and give me Iona and the under. Well, lots of steam popping off. I'll probably update those steam moves. Another one coming in right now. Oh, man, they're just flying in with this card and these matchups. And here's the other thing, right? You might only be getting started on some of your handicapping. Even I had to get up a little bit early because there wasn't overnight lines in a lot of, or at least good enough overnight lines on some of the tournament games. So, all right, I'm going to continue on here with early matchups in college basketball. you guys are dreaming here. I'm having Ramon coffee, which is Pepsi. All right, next up, we're sticking in the early action here, and I've got next Binghamton and Sacred Heart. Why not? We're just going over these early. The 3 early starts, I think, is what I was looking at. We'll save the rest for other coverage. But here you got Binghamton. This one's actually just an added game on the road. We're still playing a day game here in this one with Binghamton and Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart favored now by, oh, wow. 3.5 or so, maybe 4, but it actually looks like it's kind of going down here. It looks like the move actually is on Binghamton. That wasn't a move that I was necessarily expecting. In fact, I'm I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on Sacred Heart. Let me take a look at some of the moves here. Yeah, I'm going to lay the points here with Sacred Heart. This morning, if you will, for me, Sacred Heart comes in. Both teams are 2-2 straight up, 3-1 against the spread so far this season. So I'm gonna move here on the home team. Make it clear here that Sacred Heart is playing this game at home. I mean, these teams are as closely rated as you might expect here, and maybe it's just a little bit of a home court advantage. I'd say these two teams are probably in the 250 range, I think is where they were in the KP rankings. So no reason to think those are off at all. And one of the here's another interesting. So you talk about ratings. I don't know if I use my own, but I also like my ratings are just pretty much a consensus of all the major ratings, and then I just look at them and I kind of eye test it and I say yes or no, higher, lower, upgrade this team, upgrade that. And a lot of people will say, oh, you can't follow those rankings because everyone's following the. But actually, your rankings should probably, be very, very close to everybody else's. Now, if you go take a stand with some team, that's your team to back to a certain extent, right? What I'm mostly handicapping are the spot, the day in and day out spots. Anyways, I'm not ever going to necessarily put the database up against because if you have one team way off. You're going to either end up backing that team the entire season or fading them. For example, if you just strictly go off off your ratings, right? We're trying to weigh the decisions on days off, ups and downs of the schedule, travel, things like that. So, anyways, Sacred Heart, their victories came against Loyola, Maryland last game. On Saturday, they beat them by 15 points on a neutral, and they also beat Holy Cross by 7 points. Their losses to Iona, ironically enough, and Baltimore County on the road as well. But this is their first major home game. They did play Sarah Lawrence at home to open the season. Ferner, thank you for. Oh, it looks like Ferner says he's just looking at these lines here. Solo says, lay it with Sacred Heart. I agree. Let's go with Sacred Heart here. We don't even have to lay this number, but I'll lay 4 here on the screen. I think you can lay 3.5. You can lay 3. Yes, I do see that 2.5 that Ferner had mentioned as well. I think that's a little bit juiced right now, but it's funny because it was as low as Sacred Heart 1.5. I saw it go up to all the way as high as 4. And now there's been buyback. So give me Sacred Heart. And yes, I like the over in this game. This over might be actually going. I might have to update that. Yeah, this one's up to 146.5. So yeah, I'm a little, especially after, who was it in the chat? Who said it? Those early morning unders. I think we were actually on another channel. And they said, Ramon, those early morning unders we hit. And we did have one over that didn't, but give me Sacred Heart, and I will go over in this one at 146.5. And those are the early 3 games, and I'm going to probably get into some premiums or some other plays, but you can hit me up in the Discord. Let's keep it going right now with the other major matchups today throughout the. I just have a few more. We're not going to spend very much time on this, but we will get to that NBA card as well. Colorado versus Florida State, college basketball action here. This one's for Tuesday. This one is out at the Daytona Slam here, the Sunshine Slam, whatever it's called. I like Daytona Slam, but the Sunshine Slam here. This one goes off at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific. In yesterday's action at the Slam, it was Florida State getting the money against UNLV in an over. And as far as Colorado, they also got the money yesterday in an under. And let me bring that. Let me skip ahead here and make sure I have the right game. This is there we go. 647, 648. Right. All right. Yeah. Now, for me in this one, look, the line movement here hasn't been too significant to a certain extent. Right now, it's Colorado, maybe five. The totals maybe up, maybe 152. Maybe it's definitely gone higher. So I'd say the move right now is to Colorado and the over here. Colorado so far. Let's see. Other than yesterday's game, of course, which we just kind of went over. But Colorado comes in 4-0, looking good. I mean, they were joking. I saw them yesterday. But this is a Colorado team you should be backing right now. I mean, it's going to be a pretty strong season. I think everybody agrees that Boyle has the Buffaloes suited to compete here in the Pac-12 with, uh, some of the. There's still, I don't know, maybe fourth, fifth, sixth. I don't know how you guys want to look at them right now, but Juan says take them. Here comes Colorado here for Solo. And Thomas said Florida State. Thomas means, though, Florida State stumbled in their game against Florida on Friday. Like I said, they did beat UNLV yesterday, 83-55. Florida State is 3-1. They beat that Kennesaw team 94-67. Then they beat Central Michigan 94-67. Then they beat UNLV 94 to no. The first two games were exactly the same score, but Jameer Watkins certainly for the Seminoles. Cam Corrin also in that lineup. And like I said, just haven't seen a ton of movement here that maybe catches my eye. That makes me feel, if anything, I think that my confidence meter isn't running too swiftly with this game. With this game coming in, and maybe I'll just side with the chat in this one. It feels like here, if you guys like them, I'll like them. Ari says go with the Buffs. I mean, it's 3-0. 3-0 Buffs. All right, I'm going with you guys today in this one. Maybe that should be a consensus. I'll take Colorado. I got a question mark on my. So when I handicapped the game about 90 minutes ago or so, just looking through, making pick, I said, I don't know, maybe some action will come in on the markets that'll catch my attention. Not really, not right now. Not with the move on Colorado. I'm kind of bothered. Not necessarily bothered by it. I mean, I like them in this game. I like Colorado moving forward this season. I think they've got a really hot team this year. And like I said, yes, will they be, in contention? Sure. But I mean, there are other good teams in the Pac 12. I mean, certainly they can, roll through this non conference schedule. Looking at it here with some of their team, they have Iona. Colorado State, Pepperdine, they're expected to win all these games up until starting the season, and then the easiest part of their schedule is the first half of the season. So, all right. Solo, I don't know. I'm still working out how we're gonna do this, how we're gonna, be Team Steam moving forward. We got to, maybe over the holiday I can sit here and work on it a little bit.
Final.
Oh man, now Peter comes in and says take the Seminoles. All right, I'm already on Colorado with the chat. All right, here's Blake's game with Tennessee and Purdue at the Maui Classic. A great field in Maui this year. I mean, it's arguably the best field they've ever had, I would think, with Gonzaga, UCLA, Tennessee, Purdue, Kansas, Marquette. Really top notch action uh, in Maui this week. The best tournament the best tournament every year. This one, you know what tournament I miss is the old Great Alaskan Shootout because those games would come on at like midnight out here. Um, they dropped that tournament. Nobody wanted to go to Alaska anymore. All right. Yesterday, with these two teams out at Maui, of course, we saw Purdue with the comeback win over Gonzaga. Gonzaga led pretty much all the way, right? Until the last quarter or so of the game, last 10 minutes or so. Purdue takes it over, and then it was no doubter from there. I mean, it was all Purdue. Ended up with kind of a lopsided score, as a matter of fact, in the end, as Purdue ended up, getting the money, and it went under because Gonzaga basically had to hit the brakes. So I whiffed on that game for sure, but you guys had plenty of support in here on Purdue yesterday. All right. Let's see. Some of the earlier matchups for Purdue, of course, probably number one. I don't know if you have number one, number two, number three, but you got to have Purdue up there, right around there somewhere. Also beat Xavier. They beat Moorhead, and they beat Samford. As far as the Vols are concerned, their other victories were against Wofford, Wisconsin, and of course, the Blake game of the preseason game of the year was the win over Tennessee Tech. So set point spread right now at 7. This is game number 655, 656. So the line currently sits at 2.5 and 1. Yeah, I've had it wrong the whole time. Thank you. Did you guys correct me? I didn't even look at that, you guys. It is 2.5 for the most part. So it must have been 2 before, and I just read it wrong and typed it in wrong. Let me make sure on that. There were mostly 3s out there. Now down to 2.5 at a lost spot. So it looks like the move here is slightly to the Vols. Yeah, thank you, Solo. And Thomas, maybe he was teasing me there with that 7, and maybe Thomas, number's definitely 2.5, Thomas. So let's get
final.
Let's get it right, Ramon. All right. And again, this one goes off at 8 Eastern and 5 Pacific with this marquee matchup of the day. I think it's probably a little bit better matchup than the next one, certainly with the number 1 team in the country. So, all right. For me, I'm going to be on the over here in this one. I think we got a high quality matchup. Look, I don't know if Purdue can do what they did in the second half to Tennessee, what they were doing to Gonzaga, because Gonzaga, I definitely, kind of looking at Gonzaga here, young team. Look, you got a team like a West team like UCLA playing, teams that are ranked 350th, 340th, 320th in their 3 games. And you got a team like Gonzaga that goes out and plays the Maui Invitational, plays other tough matchups. I mean, you just look at their schedule, right? It's just, pretty awesome. So they, took on a number 1 Purdue team, learned their lesson, and got it handed to them. no problem there. Purdue's probably number one. Feels like Purdue, right? You're still going to be like, how far will it go before Purdue doesn't get it done in the tournament? But okay, Chad, nice to see you. Thank you. Good job yesterday. Appreciate you. So I'm going to take the over in this one at 134. Is it 134 still? Let me take a quick glance. We'll move on. And yeah, 134.5. So let's just update it. We'll call it 135. Give ourselves a challenge here, and I'll take the over in Tennessee and Purdue. I'm not sure on the side. Giving Tennessee a chance to hang in there in this game and possibly even win. Another good game at the Maui Classic between Kansas and Marquette. Yesterday in the games, Kansas, of course, they beat Chaminade. I don't think they got the money, though. I didn't follow that one that closely. I thought, because we've seen so many of the lower rung teams get blown out by the powers. I don't know if you can even put Chaminade in some of the category of the lower rung teams. What I mean is a lot of the schools that are traveling around the country, getting their paydays over. It's a little bit different, right? When you're hosting or traveling in, hosting those weaker teams, right? I'm talking about the payday games for the teams, traveling around the country, the Jackson States of the world, going and basically making their athletic budgets with these games. People always are critical of them, and they're so important to those schools and other sports in the athletic program. The money that the basketball games bring in, for some of those traveling teams that go on and play, 7 straight road games where they're 20 and 30 point underdogs. Well, it's a little different for Chaminade because they're a very good basketball program, and they're going to be at home. We've seen the history of Chaminade upsetting teams in the past, out at the Maui Classic. So anyways, this one, Kansas advanced. They beat Chaminade. They handled them in a low-scoring game. They held them down. Marquette in here comes off the loss to UCLA. We gave out UCLA in the Discord yesterday as an underdog, and they were able to get the win over Marquette. So, all right. So in this one, with these two, or I should say, not the win, but the cover. Thank you. Maybe you guys corrected me there. Here's Thomas Lewis says, give me Kansas. What was that score, by the way? I didn't mean to misquote it like that. Too often, right? We just, we won. We won because we covered. So the score of the Bruin game was 71-69. Marquette got the victory over the Bruins, and they were just favored by 6 points in that one. So it was Joplin had 19 points for Marquette. Marquette 4-0 coming in here in this one as well. They've also beaten Illinois. They beat Rider. They beat Northern Illinois. Kansas's other victories, maybe a little bit more impressive. They beat Kentucky. They beat Manhattan, and they beat NC Central. So, just a pretty even matchup overall when you look at the, current ratings of these two teams right now. You have a Kansas team. Let's see here. Talking about the KP rankings anyway, since most people follow those. But Kansas top 4 here right now, and Marquette close to the top 10. So Solo says Marquette's too small. We're gonna finish this one up and move to the NBA here now, and I'm gonna take in this one between Kansas and Marquette. Oh, hold on one moment. Make sure I've got the right play. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm going to take Marquette in this one. Solo says he's going to lay it, but I've got this one as a close game tonight. I know you guys are, it looks like you're on Kansas, but I'm going to take the points here with Marquette in that late game. All right, unless you guys have any college games I could make some predictions on, we'll move on to the NBA tonight and cover a few games, and then followed by the MACtion. We'll try to get those MAC winners. All right, NBA. We got a 5-game card tonight with in tournament, in season tournament. So maybe we'll have those records here. Juan took Kansas. And we'll start it off with the Raptors and the Magic today. This is NBA in-season tournament action. And the Magic here favored in this one by 1.5. Let's see. Yeah, 1.5, maybe 2 right now. The total here, 215.5. All right, here we go. For the Magic, they come in with an 8-5 record so far this season. They've been kind of our darlings here a little bit, no doubt. We can't sing the praises enough right now. This team with their 10-3 spread record currently, and the Orlando Magic, another one of those young teams, that have seemed to learn how to play defense. And I think that, when you try to figure out some of these teams moving forward, which ones are going to be real, which ones are going to be pretenders, I would look to the defensive side of the ball. So when you got teams like Orlando and Minnesota, these are the teams that I'd probably look to, improve this season and maybe pass up some of those teams that have been a little bit stagnant to improve themselves defensively despite having young stars. So you have Orlando 4-1 against the spread at home this season, 3-0 as a favorite. The Raptors are 6-7 overall. They are also 3-2, however, against the spread on the road. They've done okay, 6-7 record, 7-6 against the spread. But this one looks kind of like mostly about the Magic to a certain extent. I don't know if it's the right spot for me. I'm trying to find a way to get to Toronto here. You guys have anything? Darren's on Orlando. Yeah, let's roll, you guys. Get going, Ramon. Let's talk about these games. Juan's on the Raptors. So I'm concerned. I look. The numbers seem to point to Orlando to me. My eye test says thank you doubles. That's what we need right there. My numbers to me say this is a spot where I think I'm ready to try Toronto here. I'm big on Orlando moving forward. I'm big on Orlando. Toronto needs the win here. They are the more experienced team. We know the Magic young. I'm really positive about Orlando, but I just don't feel like this is a good spot for them here. I want to take Toronto, you guys. This one, maybe I don't even have the best stats to recite here necessarily to try to sell you on this one. To me, I'm kind of going with the eye test a little bit, thinking this feels like to me the game that Toronto needs to get a little bit of confidence moving forward. I don't know if look. I like Orlando's defense. I mean, maybe that should work out here. And the total's gone under in 13 of the last 14 games when these two teams have met in Orlando. So Orlando's also gone under in 5 of their last 6 games at home, 1-4 to the under so far this season. I think I've got this game completely opposite from what these trends say, maybe what we've even seen so far. I think I am exactly where Bobby Smith is in this one. That's what I feel like here. So Solo's got the Magic, Chad's got the Magic or nothing. I'm on Raptors and probably the over here. Um, I'm gonna be I do feel like contrarian. Like I said, 13 of 13 of the last 14 games played in Orlando between these two teams have gone under. Just doesn't I don't feel like that's going to be the case today. But that is a tough trend to buck. Here is the Cavaliers against the 76ers. 76ers at home laying a pretty big number here, 7, maybe even 7.5 now. The total here has gone up as well. I'm showing this one as a fast riser. You got to wonder if it's some steam coming in here because I'm showing the total now up to 222. Let's see if there's been a move here in this one. I'll mark it at 7.5 and 222 and see where we go from there. But this is definitely a rising total. Yeah, no, I get you, Chad. No, Ferner's going over in this one. And look, the crazy thing about Philly, right? Uh, yeah, a lot of talk about Boston. Sure, a lot of talk about Philly too. I think one of the most interesting things about Philly, though, so far is the fact that they're 10-3 against the spread. They're 10-3 overall. They're 10-3 against the spread, and that's impressive. The Cavaliers, 7-6, 5-7-1 against the number so far this season. So Sixers playing with confidence. Yeah, the Cavaliers, they're getting. We agree they're getting healthy. They're building it back up here a little bit, but I would think that this one probably look Philadelphia and Cleveland, and this one's going up. I don't get it. I mean, uh, I think of two good defensive teams here, right? Especially Cleveland. I mean, we all agree Cleveland is a good defense, and they're starting to get healthy. They're starting to get their players, back into the lineup, right? Good defensive players too. With Mobley and Allen, and don't forget, I mean, going up against Embiid, Allen's going to be neutralized. Thomas says check the injuries in the Cavs and the Sixers, and I'm going to really want to take note. I don't know if they're overly significant that we didn't know. I mean, we knew that Mitchell, with a hamstring injury, out for this game. I'm sure that that's why the line, is up there at 7.5. Oubre still out for the Sixers. Cleveland also. Karis LeVert's questionable. Okoro is out. Ty Jerome is out. Darren says he'll buy a little points here. Bobby says take the Cavs plus the points. Chad says Philly at home is getting it done right now. Trust him. Verner's got his prediction here in this one. And I probably agree with the I agree with the Sixers. I'm probably going to find. Look, these ones are a little bit worrisome because when you see a total like this go over, it's not a terrible piece of advice to tail totals like this to a certain extent. I'm going with Philly. I'll lay 7.5 here in this one. Again, the Mitchell injury, it is baked into the line, so to speak. And I'll go ahead and lay it here. But look, Donovan Mitchell is, well, he's a 30-point scorer, right? I mean, and the total's gone up 3 points. So I don't know. He's out. I mean, there's no turning. I mean, yeah, it could be a miracle recovery of a hamstring. He's not going to play tonight. So without Donovan Mitchell and the total's going up, it doesn't make any sense to me. I'll take the Sixers here, but you're probably going to hear from me later on that total. All right, here it is. Well, I joked yesterday. I already knew the answer to the question. If you guys were here yesterday, you'll remember. I said, when are we going to get a total in the 250s? Well, this total was kind of already out, and the look ahead was going to be 250 or so. And according to Killer Sports, if you guys follow Killer Sport, I mean, pretty good SDQL database, maybe probably the most preeminent one on the internet, right? This will be the highest total in NBA history as long as it closes above 250, I believe was the previous high. I don't even know what the matchup was, but this will be the new high total. I would think it's going to go up just a tiny. Feels like it's going to go up just a tiny bit. Maybe it has already actually. Yeah, I'm showing a 252 right now at one book. So just ridiculous. And hey, I ain't going under. I ain't going under. That's for sure. Not with these two teams right now. In fact, have a feeling because of the nature of this game here that everyone knows what's going to happen. And while it might be cute to try to think of if you're a coach, let's try the opposite. It sounds like something Steve Kerr would do, but I think these players know what's supposed to happen here, and they are probably going to embrace it today. I would imagine that this game, I almost want to go premium. It's just scary to send it out there, but I would probably look if I'm going to give out a free play. I'm going to look to reverse this a little bit and take a total even higher and get a little plus money because this one could be a 270-point game. You know, to 140 to 130 with 135 130. That's not going to do it. 135 130. Yeah, that will. Too close. So something like that. There's no reason it won't be. I don't think it'll be. No one's going to be sitting there and go, "Wow, it only went to two. It only was 220 points. We were expecting." No, if it goes under, it's going to be like 247 or something. This is when you're supposed to play, I believe, a total premium on because there is far more likelihood that it's going to end up over the number. And if it ends up under, right, if it goes over, it could go 270, like it's a 265, 270. But I don't think there's a chance it's going to end up 237 or 232. A far more bigger chance it'll go over by 10 or 20 points than it will go under by 10 or 20 points. Does that make any sense? That's what I feel about what's going to happen with this matchup. Now, Indiana 11-1 to the over so far this season, 4-0 to the over at home. On the road, and Atlanta, even though they've been a little bit more pedestrian, with a 7-4-1 to the over, they are 5-1 to the over at home, and these two teams have already played a high-scoring game. Not this year. The first meeting only went for 222, actually, back about a month ago when Indiana got the win, 116 to 112 as a 6-point favorite. But just note, last year, these two teams played here in March, and Atlanta won that one 143 to 130. So that kind of sounds like what we're going to see. What we're gonna see probably in this one. They also had a game last year that went for 243 points back in Indiana, but that would be an under. So this one will be crazy, probably worth watching because, like I said, I really, really think. All right, here we go with the picks. Look at Brent. He's got an under. But he says he likes the Pacers here to win the game outright. Double's giving us those records. Thomas says they'll play defense because of the tournament factor. They say, oh, do players even know the lines? They probably don't know the lines exactly. Maybe someone will say to, hey, this is a total of 250 in Vegas or something like that. And they'll say, wow, but I think more so, and maybe talking about what you guys are saying about, maybe going the under. Hey, maybe let's try to play you can't try to play defense. It feels like in a situation like, I'm sure these guys are chomping at the bit right now. I'm sure Atlanta's like, yum, yum. Not that I'm saying I favor Atlanta necessarily here. I'm not sure that I necessarily do. But I'm going to give out the total over for sure.
Final.
And like I said, I feel like I'm giving out a premium. I feel like that's a premium. Bobby's like, yeah, let's get this one to go triple overtime. Let's get that 300 points. Well, the highest scoring game. Gosh, what was it? 350 or something. There was a famous game between Detroit and Denver that had a massive, massive score. I'm typing it in the background. Thomas is probably laughing at me. 1983 was the date, and the final score was 186 to 184. The Detroit Pistons beat the Denver Nuggets in triple overtime, and that game set the record for the most points scored by one team in a regular season game and the most points by two teams in that one. And how about this for a couple of elite scorers in that game? Kiki Vandeweghe, the former Bruin, 51 points. Alex English, this guy could fill it up. He had 47. Kelly Tripucka had 35. Isaiah Thomas had 47. Wow. Looking at the box score here. Dan Issel had 28 points. So maybe we'll get there. We get triple overtime. We may get there. All right. Give me the over. Trailblazers and Suns. In-season tournament action here for Thursday. This total has been on the move the other way, actually. This one, that 225 may actually be gone. It opened as high as 228. Now I'm showing it down to as low as 224.5. I thought I saw 223, so I don't know. Maybe it kind of came back a little bit. And the number here at 13. So I think we can kind of leave it just there at that. With Portland and Phoenix at 9 Eastern and 6 Pacific time. So this is probably I don't know, it feels like my kind of least favorite game here, but I'll probably end up just laying it with the Suns in this one. I've been a part of the Blazers, a little bit, talking about taking them in some spots here. We're still high on the Blazers. This season, especially getting numbers in some spots and getting numbers at home. Nah, I don't know about this being the right spot. Even with Phoenix shoddy record so far against the spread, they are just 3-7 in their last 10 games, actually. But they might get the money here. The Trailblazers 3-10. I mean, if anything, I'm taking a loss with them a little bit so far. They are 5-8 against the number. The Suns haven't been good against the number, but remember they had issues with injuries. They still do without Bradley Beal in there currently, but with Booker back, they've looked a lot better. I would say Watanabe being out does, I think, pretty underrated player, but for Portland, Malcolm Brogdon is questionable. They still have all those issues with Scoot Henderson out, Wainwright out, and of course Simon's out, and Robert Williams lost for the season. So I'll just go ahead and lay the big points. I've got Phoenix in a route here to beat Portland. Lay the big points. Phoenix to win this one by 15 or more tonight. Yeah, and Chad, look at the little relationship between KD and Watanabe. It looks like they really have formed an interesting bond there. KD as quirky as you want to be, but looks like he's done a nice job taking this player under his wing. And Watanabe, no doubt, future good player now who's kind of a budding star who just feels like he's going to be more of a household name here in the years to come. Yeah, maybe this is a good idea, Juan, to try to get to those points somehow without having to last it out. But I've got a blowout here, and like I said, I like the Blazers this season in roles moving forward. I believe they will improve that spread record. I'll say the Blazers can maybe get a positive spread record this season. Depends, I guess, how their improvement goes. And finally, it'll be the Jazz and the Lakers. The Lakers are apparently favored by 7/5. 7.5 there, right? Let me fix that. And this total has risen to 237 already, but 7.5 looks like the number here in this one. Who wants to trust the Lakers laying any numbers at this point? I certainly don't. The Lakers are 8-6 overall, 5-9 against the spread. The Jazz are 4-9 overall, 7-6 against the spread. Jazz are 10-3 to the over on the road so far this season. And this is the late TNT game tonight at 10 Eastern and 6 Pacific. So the Jazz just 2-4 against the spread on the road, but Lakers 3-7 against the spread as a favorite. The Jazz, like I said, with those overs, 9-2 to the over as an underdog. Now Lakers 3-7 to the under as a favorite. So you do have a little bit of contrast in the situation here with these two teams, but I don't know if I can lay any points right now with Lake Show. But what do you guys have? Because I don't feel great about this one. Fernando wants to go under, and Brent says kind of hard to lay it. Thomas says, don't forget, Lakers on the back-to-back. No. I don't think so, right? Thomas, the Lakers played on Sunday night, right? In their typical Sunday night game. Clippers played last night. Gino, nice to have you. I know you're talking about that other game. Just wanted to shout you out. Great to have you, Gino. Appreciate you. Yeah, maybe taking Utah here, huh? All right. Yeah, this one, I don't know. This one looks to be a little bit tougher here tonight. But yeah, I never am going to trust the Lakers here to cover any points. My figures are actually telling me that maybe the Lakers are the right contrarian move here, but I'm just gonna have to go. We're just gonna have to veto that with the eye test a little bit. I'm gonna go at least a free play here on the Jazz plus the points, That's a look at the NBA. Appreciate you guys very much. We've got 2 games to look at in college football. That's going to do it today. We're going to go hard. Like I said, when we're here on Thanksgiving, we will talk about college football, a lot of college football. Yeah, when we talk about the NFL games. Yeah, we'll talk about the NFL games, but with so much college football on Friday and then, big Saturday as well, I think Thursday is going to be a great day to extend the show a little bit with a light card and talk a lot of college football for the weekend and just a little bit different schedule, I think, this week for the holiday. And I know a lot of you will be joining me on Thursday. Some of you might not, and if not, enjoy your time with your family. And just let me say, and I'll say it again before we get to Wednesday and Thursday. Just thank you so much for being with me here every day and keeping me motivated after what went on and you know being solo here now. Is appreciate everyone still kind of hanging out and hanging in. So really appreciate it. We'll talk about more on the holiday. Give thanks on that day. All right, let's take a look at 2 games in college football right now for tonight. Going out to the MAC with some MAC. So what happened? What happened to our MAC winning streak? We gave it half of it back last week. Kind of like my whole week here. Just can't find the winner. It seems like on the show we're doing fine. I don't want to stop giving out winners on the show to hog them all in premium land. All right, we've seen moves on this one, I think, here already today. So let's kind of clean this up a little bit because Bowling Green has now moved to a 3-point favorite. Note I might actually have this one backwards. No, this is the early game, but note the time change on Eastern Michigan and Buffalo. That game actually is going off a half hour later now. Stagger the times a little bit here. But look, the move is on Bowling Green here, this total. I want to say this total's down to at least 51 here. That's where I'm going. I believe we do have some weather conditions here tonight. Of course we do. I mean, in Western Michigan, in the third week of November, yeah, we probably got some weather issues. Let me see if I can't get the exact weather conditions for tonight. But we're definitely seeing this game move lower here coming into this one. And all right, look, Western Michigan, they're probably going to have trouble, I would imagine, against Bowling Green in the passing game tonight. I mean, Bowling Green, I have to rate them pretty strong here in this matchup against Wolf and company. Here, Thomas says maybe Bowling Green. Brent's got a prediction in this one. He's got it Bowling Green by 7. Lay the points here with Bowling Green. He's got it as an over, it looks like there. He's got it 91 points. So even though Brent says Bowling Green -2 as the play, I would I would never argue with Brent. And I know it bugs him when I do this, but this would be an over if I was my prediction. 91 points and the total's 51. So predicting 40 points higher. And I know Brent, he says, this is just a projection. It's not my pick necessarily a lot of times. But I think then he's adding his pick there with that Bowling Green. So I'm a little indifferent on the side right now, but I'm going on Oppo though on that, Brent. I've got to take the under in this one with Bowling Green tonight. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on the side, actually. That move on Bowling Green, look, I've been a Bowling Green backer. I've kind of backed off of them a little bit, and maybe my timing hasn't been great even over the last 2 years with Bowling Green. So, all right. And one more here tonight will be the late game in the MAC, or a half hour later anyway, Eastern Michigan at Buffalo. Buffalo's done a nice job here kind of recovering things of late. And you know what? I do a whole sheet of notes and then I don't even use them. I just gave out the play, forgot to even refer to the notes. So well, we'll just keep going with these games. Get the show over with, get you out of here in 90 minutes for once, huh? That's the real appreciation from me. All right, Bowling Green at Eastern Michigan here, and I kind of want to go back and do the other game since I skipped all my notes. But anyways, Bowling Green comes in 6-5, 4-3. They're the better team here. Oops, where's the? I don't want to. Okay, here we go. I'm not gonna. I'm done. I'm not gonna worry about it. I made the pick. I'm not gonna go back and rehash a bunch of notes just to keep you guys any longer. Let's go with Eastern Michigan and Buffalo here. Both teams are 3-4 in the MAC. Buffalo's 3-8 overall. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. Uh, you know, I thought they played a little bit better of late, but this, right now with this coach, they just don't have good numbers here necessarily. 2-6 against the spread as a home favorite. Their last 8, 6-13 against the spread, coming off a loss. 8-14 against the spread in conference under this coach. They have played 7 straight unders. Has Buffalo. They're 3-8 overall. Eastern Michigan's 5-6, 3-4 in the MAC. They are 0-5 straight up on the road this year, but 3-2 against the spread. Trying to become bowl eligible, I guess, if they could win this game, but still an underdog despite having a better overall record. Now, last 3 years, Eastern Michigan has been decent in conference, going 17-12 against the spread in the MAC. Series history would show the Bulls have won the last 3 series games, scoring big points. Now they had that kind of that mashing offense a little bit. They were kind of hard to stop there for a while. Last 5 meetings have gone over the total. Note this year, MAC favorites at home are 18-12 against the spread. So, all right. Well, I'll just take Buffalo to roll this game. I think the situation is pretty fine for Buffalo here. And, that total moving lower, but I'm not sure, man. At this number, it might be a little bit too low. In fact, I have the wrong number up there, right? I have the wrong total. Sorry about that. That's what the confusion was. All right. Let's call it what? You want to call it 36, you guys?
Steam play.
Yeah, maybe 36, maybe 36 and a half. Even I've got to, it's hard because the game opened as high as 41 and it's been a steady under all week. It's going to be cold, chilly, a little bit of weather conditions tonight. But I think we might have hit a threshold where I might end up popping the over on this one. Let me just roll with Buffalo here. Lay 5.5 points tonight. We got it under the 6, right? Yeah. In fact, boy, I'm showing it down to 4.5 right now at Bet Online. So we're going to take Buffalo, and I've got them to cover tonight against EMU. All right. Thank you, Brent, for your predictions today. Under, Fernando says. Yeah, Werner, I show a 4.5 at one offshore book. All right, you guys, I'm going to take it easy on you today, a lot of college basketball, so let me just get rolling on some of that and enjoy a little bit of time, a little bit of downtime. We'll keep the show shorter. I know the bosses will be happy about that, but get ready because tomorrow's a massive, massive massive hockey card and NBA as well. And we'll start to look at some other action as well, maybe for the weekend. We'll preview the games tomorrow. Ari, thank you. Doubles, Thomas, Fernando, everybody. Appreciate you so much here. And thank you to everybody as well for being a subscriber to the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Again, the 40,000 subscriber juggernaut here each day. Don't forget, catch our other programming. Mindy, Han, Tiffany Mance, they're going to take a little bit of time off to enjoy their family and their holiday, but they're usually around 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern with midday plays. They look at the games from their perspective. Then don't forget, sponsored by Rhythm, it's predictive modeling with Tony T in the afternoon. Then the Pick Dogs crew join Tony for the drive-through at 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. Hang out in the chat with me. I always have some interesting things to say during the show occasionally, and I put them in the chat, maybe a pick, maybe some injuries, and we can chat in there and give out some plays as well. So just a little bit of time spent with you here, and thank you for everything, and we'll talk about more tomorrow on the morning steam. All right. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott.